Hello and welcome to Live at 5. We should be live right across Facebook. We should be live across YouTube. We've got that as well. I should be getting your comments on my little screen here now as well. I should have sorted that out. We're also live on Twitter, I believe. Welcome to Live at 5. If you've never watched the show before, it's just me for about an hour and you, and your comments. I've got a little frog in my throat. Little macron, as I like to call it. So we just talk about the news of the week, really. We have a laugh with it. Some of the things that we've put on Facebook that we endeavour to have fun with. We talk about that. We have some of your comments as well. Your comments are still not coming up on there for some reason, so I'll read them off Facebook, so apologies. Pete Gaskin's here. Hi, Pete. So I was a little bit late. I pressed the wrong button. New technology, you see. New technology. But if you are watching the show, get your comments, particularly on Facebook. I can see all the comments on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube and Twitter, hello and welcome to our little show. So tonight on the show, hi, Craig. Craig Beat is here. Heidi, hi, says Craig. Heidi, ho. Ken and Heather Me Lovely are here. Hello. Chris Hatton's here. Fingers crossed for the job, Chris. He went for a job at Corals. Yeah. Short odds. Short. You're going to get it, my friend. You're going to get it. Pete Gaskin's here. Hi, Pete. Anybody else? Get involved on the timeline. Tell us you're here. Get involved in the show. Get your comments up there. Tonight, we're going to talk about Amos or Agatha. Cash for Strangers, which is a unique thing, which I didn't realize that people were doing. Royalty have started doing this thing where they just give cash to people they've never met before. It's an amazing act. I think this is gonna make royals very popular all over the world, where you just go and you give a bag of cash to people you've never met. This is a great idea to keep the royal family at the forefront of everybody's thoughts. So, Cash for Strangers, we'll talk Tudor Chris. I'll go over for a bag of Tudor. Bad impressions, like that one. There's going to be a lot of them on the show tonight because I've seen some of the things you've put on Facebook during the week, some of the comments and everything. So there's going to be a lot of quite bad impressions on the show. And our special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest is none other than world-renowned weatherman, Wayne E. Day. I mean, you've probably all heard of him, Wayne E. Day. He's going to be on the show in a little while. Wayne E. Day will be talking storms because I don't know about you, but it's been a little bit windy out, isn't it? A little bit windy overnight, struggling to batten down the hatches. If there's any damage where you are, please let me know on the timeline on Facebook. Let me know what damage you've got, whether it's just a bin in the next door's garden, or suddenly you're in possession of a trampoline that you never had before, which you can play on next summer. Let us know the extent of the damage. It's going to get worse tomorrow as well. So we're going to talk storms. We're going to talk Dudley, and Eunice. We're going to talk old names as well, because that's inspired me to think about all the names they call storms. They're all old names, aren't they? So trying to resurrect them. So we'll talk about storms. We'll talk to Wayne E. Day, who is a world-renowned weatherman. We get all the guests on this show. We've also got Hum That Tune coming up. That's going to be a topical tune, Hum That Tune tonight. Quite topical for the week. Tonight's prizes, the Duke of York's wallet. Yeah, empty, of course. But you can win that tonight, and you can win yourself a bag of Tudor Crisps from 1979, salt and vinegar flavour, obviously. Which I think, with Tudor Crisp, their salt and vinegar flavour was a blue colour, wasn't it? I think Tudor Crisp salt and vinegar flavour was blue. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost positive. So all that to come tonight. So before we get into it, any damage, please get on the Facebook timeline and let me know if you've got any damage in your house. And spare a thought, if you would, for Michael Fabricant. He's not been seen. He's not been seen for the last few days because poor old fella, he can't come out when it's windy like this. It would be embarrassing. So Michael Fabricant has been confined to barracks. He's not allowed out. He can't go out tomorrow either, just in case, the whole syrup comes flying off Michael Fabricant. Spare a thought for Michael, who's really struggling with the wind. So something we put on Facebook earlier in the week was the A to Z of films with a great theme or an iconic song. Because we lost the great film director Ivan Reitman this week, the man who directed Stripes and Kindergarten Cop, Animal House with Jim Belushi, and Ghostbusters. What a film. So G is for Ghostbusters in honor of the great film director Ivan Reitman. But Animal House, probably my favorite film of his. Guess what I am? Zit. If you've never seen Animal House, it is pathetically stupid, childlike behavior, but it is well worth a watch. So get yourself watching that. Just let me turn off my emails because they're pinging in, and we don't want emails, do we? We don't want emails. We want fun. We have fun. We don't want emails. No, none of that. None of that. Did you like my new production at the start of the show, by the way? Did you like my new jingle? My little, I'll play it again. Well, I can do that at a drop of a hat now because I've got this new tech. Pete says, I'm glad that's a frog in your throat earlier, not a duck. Yeah. Well, I don't know if the duck's going to make an appearance tonight. I don't know. Our guests on the show now are going to come up on screen. So we've got this facility now where we can actually speak to people on screen. So you'll get to see them and everything. They're brilliant. Chris says, damage report. I had fallen branches outside my door this morning, Paul. Fallen branches outside my door this morning. Craig Beatty says, what about Storm Ronnie? That'd be a good one, but extremely short storm. It wouldn't last long. No. You're thinking of Ronnie Barber there, right? You little wee man. Yeah, he's a very small gentleman. Peter Gaskins says, Wayne E. Day. I do hope it's a forecast of the wet finger in the air. I don't know where he's from, but he's world renowned. Is Wayne E. Day. I don't know what E stands for. It might be Eric. But yeah, he's all the rage in weather parlance. Is Wayne? He's very good. Very impressive, that jingle, says Ken Redpath. Perhaps you could do a sidelining composing some for local radio. Are you not a fan, Ken? I don't like the sung jingles on Radio Cayman Show. I really don't. I'm glad I don't have to play them because I'd have to be critical because you know what I'm like. I'd have to critique them and start singing along really badly. And like we used to do in the background. I don't think you're allowed to criticize anymore, though, so I don't know. Roger Morris says, your new jingle sounds very Apollo 440. It's got that sort of vibe. What a theme tune. It's good. Oh, sorry, dancing. Do a bit of dancing. Chris Hatton says, never mind Storm Ronnie, a short storm. It's more like a storm in a teacup, Paul. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. I'm just going to see if my little comments are coming. No, they're not. No, they're not. I've actually got a new jingle for the news section of the show as well. I've gone all out on production this week. So come on. So the A to Z of films with a great theme or iconic song kicked off by G for Ghostbusters. Pete says, I reckon the storm's here. You're breaking up this evening. Am I? I'm breaking up? Oh, no. I hope not. No, my broadband's really good. I hope this new kit's not causing me to... I hope it's not... Marcus is here. Good evening, Paul. I remember getting loads of abuse from you on the mid-morning show, Paul. I hope you have a big sack and loads of money to put in it for me. I don't know what you're talking about there, mate. Anyway, A to Z of films with a great theme or iconic song. So G for Ghostbusters. I'm going R for Rocky 3. I the Tiger. I remember when I went to Rocky 3. I think we went to watch it in Doncaster for some reason. I must have been living in South Yorkshire at the time. And we had to queue for about an hour right around the back of the Odeon. A great film. Clubber Lang. Mr. T is Clubber Lang. Fantastic. So R for Rocky 3. Eye of the Tiger. It's a great tune. Pete says, it must be at my end that you're breaking up. Well, I hope so, because this new kit is supposed to be spot on. And last week's show was pretty spot on, to be honest. So I don't think we had any breakages last week. So technically, we're all right. I think I'll check the feed and just check it's not lagging or something stupid like. I don't see. I don't understand the technical terms. I just say these things and I don't know them because I used to have a producer that sorted all this sort of stuff out, but obviously I can't afford one now because I'm not getting paid. What about S? S for Star Wars, the iconic theme from John Williams, instantly recognizable. S for Star Wars, says Jeff. Any more suggestions, please? Get them on the Facebook timeline. I know you're watching on Twitter and YouTube as well. And thank you for all of you that watched last week. Over 1,000 again watching the show. I don't know why. It's just me mucking about on a Thursday night. I'm going to go A to Z of films with a great theme or iconic song. I'm going to go T for Top Gun. Top Gun. Take my breath away. I feel the need for speed. Great film. Although Train Spotting was also suggested because, of course, I got a lust for life. I got a lust for life. Yeah, that could be a good T. Ken Redpath's been on. Says J for Jaws. Although it was a very bad shark story in Sydney this week. Oh, awful. Man got attacked. Ooh, first shark killing since the 60s. Awful. Mark Winterhampton said, sorry, a bit late. Down in TV land, I got stuck on the M25. Well, it's no excuse, mate. You know what time we're on. You can watch us anywhere. Chris has suggested a film with an iconic song, although I've not heard of it. The film's Commando, and We Fight for Love. Never heard of it, but, fair play. B for Baby Driver, says Mark Donagain. That's got some great tunes. Mad Max. M for Mad Max. The way fuel prices are going up, we'll all be trying to get fuel from somewhere, says Mark. Yeah, so Beyond Thunderdome was the song in that, wasn't it? The Thunderdome. Simply the best. All the rest. Yeah, she had a little dance, didn't she, old Tina? For M, I don't think you can look any further than Mary Poppins for M. On the A to Z of films with a great theme or iconic song, you think Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's a great song. It's a great song. Paula suggests B for Blues Brothers. Everybody needs somebody to love. Another Jim Belushi film. What a great film that is. Hey, what a great film. Any more, please? Star Wars, says Roger. For S, great iconic thing. Armageddon. Don't want to miss a thing from Aerosmith, says Craig. Yeah, that is a tune. That I do like a bit of Aerosmith. Love in an Elevator. Not this week. No, Paul McGroin. What else? What else we got? Oh, not sure if this is T or G, says Chris Payne. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, I get you. I'm going to get... That's a G, isn't it? It's got to be G. Chris Payne suggests D for Dam Busters or The Magnificent Seven. That's a classic theme tune, isn't it? Marcus has lowered the tone again. D for Debbie Does Dallas. Did that have a song in it, didn't it? I don't recall. In fact, I've never seen it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Lewis. American Werewolf in London, Bad Moon Rising. Oh, I do like a bit of... I've said this many, many times, both here and on the radio. I do like a bit of Creedence, yeah? Down on the corner. Down at the top. Ah, Wayne E. Day, says James Warner. I've just got that. You just got that? Oh dear! I was hoping. I was trying to get another world-renowned weather presenter, Lou Pressure, but Lou wasn't available this evening. Lou Pressure wasn't available, so we've made do with Wayne E. Day, and he's going to be on the show later. James, you're a disgrace. Honestly, disgrace. Oh dear, Gordon Bennett. All right, where are we? What else we got? James says, was Fog E. Meadow busy? I've never heard of him, James. Is he a weather expert as well? Foggy, is he? Oh, dear. Shall we move on to this week's news? Shall we? because I've got a new jingle. No expense spared on these jingles, you know. No expense spared. Chris says, it's the tune at the end of Commando when he says no chance and gets on the plane with his lady. I've never seen Commando, Chris. And I can't watch it now because the missus won't have it. You know, anything that's got any shooting in it, any swearing. It's the eternal debate we have in our house about what to watch. You know, it's no good, according to the wife, if it's got swearing in it, shooting, or any sort of car chase. So me and the little one, 17, nearly 18, we got to watch stuff like that together on our own. Not allowed. The Italian job, says Richard, Self-Preservation Society. We need this tomorrow, says Richard, because the storm's coming in. Yeah, we're going to talk storms in a bit with Wayne E. Day, who's very kindly agreed to give us some time tonight. Famous weatherman. He's going to be on the show in a little while. So the news. I played the jingle. I've got to do the news. Prince Andrew in the news gives a huge bag of cash to a woman he says he's never met. Now, this is either a good thing or a bad thing. Either this is a new thing that the royals are going to do where they're going to share out some of the wealth and just walk around giving bags of cash to us, their servants, willy-nilly. Perhaps we're all... Princess Anne is going to visit Peterborough next week, perhaps, and just pick on somebody she's never met and just drop a bag of cash in their pushchair. Maybe, you know, I don't know, Prince Edward, who's now turning out to be the best royal of them all, strangely. Perhaps he's going to go to War Boys next week. He'll just slip a tenner in Eileen from Chatteris's coat pocket. Yeah. It's raining. Maybe that's what the royals are doing, or maybe they're not. And if they do carry on doing that, it's going to cost them a fortune, isn't it? An absolute fortune. But are we all entitled to a payout? Is my question. And so the Prince Andrew story. Obviously, we've got to be careful what we say because it could get litigious. So he basically paid around 12 million, we think, to this lady that accused him of doing all sorts of things that nobody in their right mind should ever do. He wanted his day in court, said he was in Pizza Express at the time. And surely, if he got the receipt, you know, you keep your receipt, wouldn't you, from Pizza Express? If he kept his receipt, he'd have the logs of his security guards, so he'd be sorted, wouldn't he? He could just look, I was here. There's my receipt. But then in the end, he's decided not to go to court. It's too embarrassing, probably, and give her 12 million. So he's probably going to have to sell his chalet in Verbier. Oh dear. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? But it's inspired quite a few people to write some poems. Jethro, you remember Jethro the milkman from our little Radio Cambridgeshire show? He wrote me a little a poem because I inspired me just to put the words on my social media. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York, and everybody had a little go. So this is Jethro's little poem regarding Prince Andrew. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York, he borrowed 12 million quid. He gave it to somebody he never met for something he never did. And I thought that was a little round of applause for Jethro, everybody. Little round of applause. I posted my riposte to that. I don't think it's quite as good, but let's try. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York, he wanted his day in court. He sold his chalet, changed his mind and silenced what he bought. Well, it's not bad. Come on, dear God. Don't forget, if you are watching the show, get on the timeline on Facebook. Leave us some comments if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter. If we make you smile, maybe think about donating £1 to a local charity. Something like that. You know, Sue Ryder, anything, whatever. You know, because we do this for nothing. I don't get paid. Nobody gets paid. Who would pay? But, you know, if you feel like doing that, do it, please. Richard says, has anyone tied Ronnie Barber down? We don't we don't want him blowing off in the wind. No, well, he blows off anywhere, to be honest with you. But you're right, because he is so small. I will check on him later. At the moment, I've got him in the box with the GIMP mask on. So I will check on him a little bit later and check the box hasn't come undone. He's only a small box, a little matchbox. He's in a little matchbox, so it could easily, come open. So I'll check on him a bit later And if Storm Ronnie ever comes in, don't worry, because it will be a very, very small, teeny wee man. A very small Storm. Poor Andy Pandy, says Peter, playing with Loopy Lou and Big Ted in the basket. And Marcus says, well, a chalet going cheap for you and your skiing trips in Verbia. Yeah, for 18 million. That is a lot of money for a house, isn't it? I'd want an estate. Yeah. And you can't read out all the comments on this show because some are very naughty. And even though we're not on the BBC anymore, I don't want to upset anybody. All right, Carl Letman says, I've got a little poem for you. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York was mates with a massive nonce. When it looked like it was going down, he paid the woman off at once. Oh, okay. Lisa Marie, the bland old Duke of York, said he would always battle in court. She'd back off then, he thought, but wasn't just compensation she sought. That doesn't scan. No, come on. That doesn't scan. Not at all. Jerry says there once was a priest from Birmingham who buttered 2 maids while confirming them. Hello, Jerry, our American cousins. If we have got anybody watching in America, please say hi. Get on the timeline, say hello. If David Hoff's in California, we've got a couple of people watching Europe as well. Somebody in Spain, I forget their name now. And there's somebody else in France who normally watches as well. Mark Donagain's been on. He says, hi, big boy. Sorry I'm late. I've been shopping at Costco. Fuel, $1.39 for unleaded. Now, that's cheap. Well, no. Let's not be silly. That's not cheap. That is cheaper than everywhere else, which is still ridiculous. Ridiculous. Don't worry, Jacobs Reed-Mogg will sort it out. He'll sort it out because he is the Minister for Brexit Opportunity. Yeah, BO for short. That's right. Bonjour, Pete. Yeah, I know you're here, Pete. You were on earlier. I'm talking about other people that are just tuning in. I don't know. I mean, if you... Hello, Barbara. Hello, Bobs. Are you all right? All right, Bobs. Yeah, all right. Right, storms. Let's talk storms. Storm Dudley. Storm Dudley. Impossible to say Storm Dudley without doing a West Midlands accent. Oh, I found it impossible all week. Storm Dudley. In fact, I slip into my Pipkins impersonation. I told you there'll be lots of crap impersonations on the show today. So one of the ones I can do, though, is Pig from Pipkins. Do you remember Pig? Do you remember Pipkins? Let me. If you don't remember Pipkins, let me share you. Let me share you my screen, and I'll be able to. I can do this now. Look, I'm gonna show you a bit of Pipkins. Are you ready for a bit of Pipkins, everybody? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Bit of Pipkins for you. Hartley hair. Look.
It's my cup of tea, Hartley.
Yes, but it's probably cold by now. You've been ages.
Yeah, well, I got talking to Mrs. McNamara.
Oh, yes.
She was in the newsagents.
Oh.
That's Hartley hair, by the way.
Don't forget you've got to go to the greengrocers, Tom.
So there's a man who lives with a talking hare who's got an impossibly posh accent. He lives with a talking tortoise. I'm sure there were other characters as well, but there was also a pig. And I thought the pig had a name, but actually Pig was called Pig. But I can do the pig accent because it was a West Midlands. It was, can I have some more cake, please, Hartley? Hartley, can I have some more cake, please? So I can do that one. So when Storm Dudley came along, perfect. Storm Dudley. And then it got me thinking about, are there any other TV shows with strong regional accents, either now or in the past? The only thing I could think of was Tudor Chris. Do you remember the Tudor Chris advert and the Geordie accent? I'm not very good at Geordie accent, by the way. I go anywhere for a bag of Jordan. It was a bit like that. Well, it wasn't a lot like that. It was a little bit like that. Yeah. So any more TV shows with regional accents, please? That's a scary, hairy hair, says Pete. Yeah. Did you watch Pipkins? Anybody watch Pipkins? No, as a kid? Did you not? I think it was filmed in Birmingham. I think it came from Birmingham. What other people? It's you, me, him, her, and the duck, says Pete. No, there's over 20 people watching this live and 1,000 people watch it every week. Come on, we've got lots of people in here. It's all sorted. Right, Hovis, says Pete. What about that for a regional accent? Hey, stop. Last of the summer wine. Full of Yorkshire accent, says Craig. Yeah. Although not proper. Not really. There's the odd one or two, but the comforts, when we used to call them in Bridlington, people from West Yorkshire, comfort day, comfort fortnight, a comfort week, yeah, comfort day, comforts. People from Wakefield, get off my land, says Marcus. Yeah. Okay. We had petrol prices seems to be taking hold. Keep them coming in. If you can get it cheaper than 139, please let me. So storms. So Dudley's been and gone. He's done his worst. Now we've got Storm Eunice. Now I have not met anybody called Eunice. I think probably for about 30 years. Love Pipkin, says Mark. Yeah, what a show. What a great show. There's one cake, please, Hartley. Hartley, there's one cake, please. So Eunice is coming tomorrow, and Eunice is going to be bad. If you thought Dudley was bad, Eunice is going to be even worse. So in some areas down southwest, they're going to get a red warning, and we're going to have some 70, 80 mile an hour winds up here. So batten them down. Make sure all your small things are battened down, Ronnie. But it got me thinking about old-fashioned names, because they do name these storms weirdly, don't they? Dudley is a name you're not going to meet somebody called Dudley in the pub anymore, are you? You're not going to work with somebody called Dudley or Eunice, If we're talking bad accents and impressions, says James, Officer Crabtree from a low must be up there. Hello, I was just pissing, and I saw the light was on. Terrible. Here I am, says Gary. Gazza Reed is here, everybody. What time do you call this? You've been down the gym, have you? Again, it's going well, mate. Keep it up. Oh, Deadly Ground, Scorpions, Under the Same Sun. Oh, that's a good song. Anyway, moving. Can we go back to names? Is that all right? So back to names. Eunice, Dudley. You're never going to meet people called those names, are you? Ever. So it got me thinking about old-fashioned names. And well done for the people that name the storms for coming up with these names and keeping them in the public eye. Because we need to, people like Eileen in Chatteris, her name's going to disappear. So we need, somebody to cherish these old-fashioned names. Like Peggy. I had an aunt called Peggy. She always smelled of mince. And I don't mean mince the meat. I mean mince, She wasn't rubbing herself with, half pork and half beef. She weren't doing that. No. Mince, yeah. So my history teacher at school as well, we used to. He was called Amos. Now nobody's called Amos anymore, are they? But he was. And of course, Emmerdale used to be big when I was at school. It was proper show then, where they just built walls, stone walls and stuff. They did stuff like that. But it was a proper show. So we used to call him Amos Brearley, who used to run the wool pack in Emmerdale. And he loved it, did the teacher. We used to put our hands up and go, "Excuse me, sir." And he'd go, "What? Can I have half a pint of best bitter, please?" He loved it. So I went on Facebook today and I thought I'll get people talking about old-fashioned names. And anybody that who's got an old-fashioned name or is related to you. And just a line about them, something nice or something weird, something odd. And Patrick Davis, who works at the BBC in Teleland, look east, he came up with this. Knock. Who's there? Amos. Amos who? A mosquito. That's why he works in Telekids. He's better off behind the stuff than in front, better off. Yeah. Mark Windsor Hampton says, my grandma was called Audrey, Paul. Not so much a storm name, but a lovely late 1970s summer day with a cooling breeze and the smell of flowers and cut grass in the air. That's beautiful, Mark. Beautiful. Great Uncle Cedric, says Chrissy Robinson. You've got a great uncle called Cedric. Storm Marcus, says Craig. Only strong enough to blow out the candles on a birthday cake. If you're a first-time viewer, Marcus, who watches this and used to be a listener on Radio Cambridgeshire, he has a birthday every single day of the week. In fact, just please get on the timeline and wish Mark a happy birthday, because he'll be upset that nobody's wished him a happy birthday. So please do. Pete says, I'm surprised those who want to take back control don't rename the storms that Irish name. Oh, yeah. This from Tim. I had one, Paul, not one, but two aunties called Doreen. My nan was called Edie, and she smoked so many fags she didn't have time for mints. And my grandma was called Beulah. Beulah's an old name, isn't it? I mean, you call a horse Beulah now, wouldn't you? Would you wouldn't call a child Beulah, would you? Can you imagine going to school? Annette, here. Peter, here. Beulah. Kids can be cruel, can't they? Kids can be cruel, ladies and gentlemen. Right, moving on. Alex Pope, again, ex-BBC, says, Uncle Cyril, his sister Auntie Gladys, and then not a real auntie, but an Auntie Dolly. I also had an Auntie Rose, but I love that name and don't think of it as old-fashioned. And I know it's a very popular middle name is Rose. That's from Alex. Happy birthday, Marcus, says Ken. Yeah, happy birthday, Mark, whoever you are, says Chrissy. Yeah. And Chris Atton says, my grandfather on my mum's side was Harry and grandmother was a Mary. Well, I don't think they're old-fashioned names, you see. I think Harry and Mary have enjoyed something of a renaissance. And I don't mean a cheap hotel around an airport. I mean, they're on their way back. You know what I mean? Oh, my grandma was called Tomina, says Ken. Where does that come from? Where's Tomina come from? Tomina? Tua. No? Chuckle Brothers? No? Storm Gladys, says Paula. My aunt was called Gladys. So was her aunt. Gladys. Again, not a popular name. Andy Garth. Yeah. Storm Trevor. My uncle's called Trevor, and it's my middle name, says Trevor Garth. Let's call him Trev from now on. That'll upset him. Simon says, put your hands on your head. The old ones are the best. No, Simon says, put your fingers in your ears. Simon says, Auntie Iris and Uncle Cecil. Uncle Cecil. Nobody's called Cecil anymore. Keep these names alive, ladies and gentlemen. Call your children. Encourage your children to name their grandkids Cecil. Do it, particularly the girls. Yeah, definitely. Storm Mavis, says Barbara. That was my mum's name. Storm Mavis. Will it be a strong storm? Well, I don't really know. See, another impression. I told you this show would be packed full of crap impressions. Well, I don't really know. If you're not a Coronation Street fan, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about. Paula Clark says, I had an Uncle Snowy. Uncle Snowy. Was he got silver beard, silver hair? Beautiful. Yeah. Or was he a little dog? I had an Aunt Nellie and she was very small, says Peter. Yeah, well, if she's still about, we could hook her up with Ronnie. Yeah. 2 small ones make a big one. I ain't having a birthday every day because of you, Paul, says Marcus. I don't think it was me that did it. I think it was that Chris kid. Yeah, him. Fella. Yeah. David Harrington says, my grandfather was Horace. Apparently, I'm just like him, known to cause a bit of a storm now and then. And this from Simon, who says, an aunt who emigrated to Canada in the 50s called Joan, says Simon. A brave thing for a girl in her late 20s to do on her own. Very much so. Very much so. Mark says, what about Storm Duck? Be afraid. Be very afraid. Storm Duck. We've not heard from the duck yet. I better put my phone on just in case, because I don't think the duck is going to be contacting me via the power of Tinternet. So I will just keep my phone on there. But listen, talking of storms, I'm very happy to say that we well, first of all, let's be honest. I tried to get world-renowned weatherman Lou Pressure on the show, but unfortunately, I wonder what the next storm will be. F, says Chrissy. I tried to get world-renowned weatherman Lou Pressure on the show. Unfortunately, he's busy. He's on location at the moment. But we got the next best thing, and he's good. He's world-renowned as well. Wayne E. Day, ladies and gentlemen, is about to join us by the power of Tinternet. He should be there. Are you there, Wayne?
Yes, can you hear me?
Are you eating?
No, this is, yes, welcome to the Wind Center here. Yes. Oh, by the way, Fanny.
What, for F?
Yes, Storm Fanny.
Well,
we've decided. We were up all last night because yes, we put it around the house, and Fanny was the favorite. So.
Can I just stop you a second? Because Wayne, you've got a recognisable voice there. You sound a little bit like Sean Connery, according to Mark.
Yes. I often get that. Yes, but we're here in Barbados.
Are you?
Yes, for the Storm Centre. We've moved out of the UK. We had to because It was too stormy there. Too stormy.
Careful, because we're live here, Wayne, and we've had a few instances in the last few weeks with special guests, dropping F-bombs. So be careful with the, language.
Oh, don't you worry. But I must say, you're a shite for sore eyes. You are definitely Brian. Brian, when was the last time? Was it LBC?
Yeah,
I think we were LBC. Brian Taylor, yes.
No, it's Paul Stainton, but never mind. Have you been on the red stripe? Is that what's going on here?
No, we don't touch booze during the storm season, and because the last thing you need is me to mess up the what is it? What do they call it? The storms. But this is going to be a bit of a tough one. This one.
Tough one, yeah.
We've got to get everything. If you wear a toupee. And I would imagine you'll be tying down that hair. And anybody with a massive face may want to move away because your face will be affected by the wind. You'll look like you've been through the dryer. Yes?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. What is it?
Because this is going to be a real bath. A
bad storm. Yeah. What is it? What is it with all the old names? Why don't you pick new names for your storms?
Well, we did think about a few new names like Tarquin.
Yes.
Well, Tarquin. We had Boris. Nobody would take that seriously.
Seriously?
No, seriously, yes. Yeah. Well, sorry. I don't think it's very kind to. I'm doing this free.
It's fine. I wasn't mocking your speech impediment. I was just repeating what you said.
But I was hoping they would maybe go with Dwayne because that's my name. Who's Dwayne?
Yeah, Dwayne. Dwayne E. Day. Yeah. What does the E stand for, Dwayne?
Erotic. If you're not going to stick to the script, I'm bugging if I am. So
what is it with the double storms? Because we keep getting double storms. We had Dudley, and now we've got Eunice. Why are they coming so close together?
Wind turbines.
Wind turbines? Are they small fish?
Excuse me. Turbines are turbines. Turbines. Turbines.
Turbines.
Turbines. Nothing to do with turbines. No, it's. Have you noticed, Paul?
Yes.
That we're getting more storms.
Yes.
Since we've had these wind turbines.
So they're to blame. It's not global warming. It's wind turbines.
No, there's no such thing as global warming. There's never been a thing.
That'll get us knocked off Facebook. That will. Oh, dear.
No. Well, there should be a vaccine for it. But no, the wind turbines have been causing havoc. Havoc. Excuse me.
Havoc.
Havoc.
There's
a meteorological term. Havoc.
But it's definitely not global warming. It's not happening.
We are closing down the wind turbines around the coast.
Are you?
And anybody with one of those fancy tree burning stoves, like possibly you have, Alan. Have you got
I've got a wood burning stove? Yes.
Those are terrible for the. All right, they're terrible for the climate.
Wayne, I've got a few questions coming in, so I want to. Okay.
Yes. Well, any questions of a meteorological? I'm here to help.
For sure.
For sure.
Do you mind answering these questions? Because the listeners can be quite brutal. I don't want to upset you in any way.
No, well, they can piss. They can go
Yes. Do you live in a gated community, says Craig?
Well, in Barbados we do when we come here for the storm season. Yes, we do. We have a big wind enclosed, thermostatically controlled wind tunnel.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the name again?
Hang on for dear life. Yeah.
Who's that? Hang on for who?
What? How long? Pete wants to know how long you've been in the game.
I've been on the game for quite a while. Yes, I started off on Good Morning Britain.
Did you?
And then I had a punch up with Morgan. Pierce Morgan and I got stuck into it one morning.
Did you?
What a bath.
He's an interesting chap. Yeah.
What a broadcaster. That's what I was going to say. What a real. And then I moved
Have you ever met Ulrika? Ulrika was a weather girl, wasn't she?
She wasn't. No, she wasn't. No. She was a personality with a map. The real metropolitan people.
Yes.
I have a degree in the wind. Yes. I have several degrees of wind. Yes. And my credentials are there for anybody to look at. And if you'd like to see them, then just pop round.
Not really. You must have met some other top. Have you met John Ketley? Because he's a weatherman.
Ketley, yes. Ketley and I used to open for the cricketers' cricket team. Yes. Yeah, he was a fine opener. Massive bat, by the way.
Massive bat. Yeah.
Yes.
Huge.
Hey, never any problems with his pipe pressures coming in, eh? Yes, lovely guy. I love the Ketley. Yes, I do.
Wayne,
yes.
So we're going to go with Fanny for F.
Yes.
Have you got all the letters sorted out? Have you got a G?
No. If your listeners can help me with the letter G, would be lovely. Because they would be known then as you've managed to name the next storm.
Yes.
Storm.
What about Gladys? Gladys is a good one.
Well, that's not. Is that yours?
No. Well, a number of people have suggested it.
Why would we pick Gladys?
Well, it's up to you.
You're have something a bit more contemporary.
You're the man in charge in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's in the Bahamas. Was bloody hot. It's lovely. But
listen,
yes.
I'll get the listeners to suggest letters. Quite a few people are suggesting Storm Ronnie because they're hoping that when that comes around, it'll be a short storm.
Yeah, short storm, but
short storm. Are your teeth all right there?
Sorry, I'm just adjusting my thermometer. Yes, I'll be short. The Storm Ronnie would be very, very in your face.
Yes.
Yes, it would last a very short time, but
yes.
boy, would you like it? Yes.
Yes. Sounding more and more like Churchill the dog. I've got to let you go now, Wayne, because we've got to move on. We've got other things to do. Than
yes, bloody time too.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm going to leave you with I'm going to leave you with a smile.
Oh, for fuck!
Yeah. So a little meteorological joke.
Oh,
so you ready?
He's telling us a joke.
Yeah.
Yes, telling us like we need another joke.
What does a cloud wear under its raincoat?
I don't. Yes, I don't know. Tell me your funny joke. The weather's not.
Thunderwear, Wayne. Thunderwear. Has he gone? Has he put the phone down? He's gone. Oh well. I mean, like I said, I bring all the best guests. As much as I can, because obviously we don't pay them. But a little round of applause for Wayne. Wayne, absolutely fantastic, Wayne. Thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciated your insight into the storms and how they're named. And I didn't mean to take the mickey out of any sort of speech impediment you may have had. It was just very funny. Wayne Ede, ladies and gentlemen, coming to us live from the Bahamas. Just a shame we didn't get his picture there, which is it's just one of those things. Who's ready for a bit more news? Who wants some more news? Well, it's the same news, to be honest, because on a more serious note, the Met Office have issued an amber weather warning for around Peterborough for tomorrow. So when Storm Eunice eventually gets here with the Zimmer frame, we're going to get some strong winds and we are going to get some disruption. So watch out. Blimey, was that Sean Connery, says Mark? No. Marcus says, does Wayne know Michael Fish? He made a mess of it as well. Storm Gloria for G, says Chris. Peter says, that was a fascinating interview, Paul. God, you get the best guests. Truly amazing knowledge of storms there from Wayne Ede. Wayne Ede. I will try and get Lou Pressure on later. If we have another storm, like in a month from now or something, I'll get Lou on. Let's see what he has to say. What else happened in the news this week? MP for Peterborough, Paul Bristow, got a new job. He got a bit narky with me on Twitter as well because I just tweeted embarrassing because his new job has been the personal private secretary to Nadine Dorris. Now, personally, I know good luck to him. You know, he's got himself a little promotion, an opportunity to climb the ladder. I get it, but it's a bit embarrassing. Nadine Dorris. And he's in charge of carrying Nadine Dorris's brain around in a little teacup. It's just a little, very tiny teacup, and he carries it around in that. But more seriously, now he's tied to Nadine's brush. He has to vote with the government on everything. So you have to toe the party line. So if there's something that the government wants to install that's not good for Peterborough, Paul won't be able to vote against it unless he resigns or gets sacked. So not great, really, for Peterborough. Just a thought, you know. No doubt, Paul is happy. He'll be pictured sometime soon with a pint in hand in Nadine's back garden. No, it's not a euphemism. Not a euphemism. Best headline of the week that I saw, Khan finally got dick out. Did you see that? Did you see that headline? Khan finally got dick out. Yeah, it was to do with Cressida Dick and Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, booting her out. And then the police, the Met Federation, said they got no faith in Sadiq and they're having a bit of a bing bang bosh. But yeah, Cressida Dick said, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to quit the Met Police. And then she did, because a report came out saying that she'd oversaw a regime of misogyny, discrimination, and sexual harassment. But she didn't go quietly. No. Cressida only resigned after throwing herself down a flight of stairs, pulling down a constable's trousers and singing, "You've got a lovely bunch of coconuts," and then twice beating a confession out of herself. Then she went through the side door and she left. What else happened this week? Brexit Opportunity Knocks. It's a new show that's coming to ITV. I don't know if you've seen the news. Jacob Rees-Mogg, the Minister for Brexit Opportunity, or BO for short, as we keep saying, is to bring back the 70s talent show formerly hosted by Huey Green. And I mean that sincerely, quite sincerely, folks. I mean that quite sincerely, folks. You remember that, Huey Green? Opportunity Knocks? He's going to rename it Brexit Opportunity Knocks. This is going to be a show and a half, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be watching this every Saturday night. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Ken says, Paul Bristow's got a new job. Will Nadine Dorris like Paul's whip? I couldn't possibly comment. No, he won't, Marcus. Nothing to do with that. No. So anyway, Brexit Opportunity Knocks. I mean that most sincerely, folks. Most sincerely. Each week, the show is going to focus on real people, like lorry drivers, the self-employed, small businesses, people from Northern Ireland, all of whom have been completely shafted by Brexit. Still, we do have cheaper energy because of Brexit, don't we? And our wine's cheaper. Our clothes are 20% cheaper. Everything they promised us has come true. So, I'm all for it, to be honest. So well done, Jacob. I'll be watching. Definitely be watching that. Definitely. I'm turning into Rayman there for a second. Who wants a game? Who wants to play a game? Who wants to win themselves the Duke of York's wallet? Empty, of course. And a bag of Tudor crisps. I go anywhere for a bag of Tudor. From 1979. Salt and vinegar flavour. Little blue packet. Could be yours tonight if you can guess on our Facebook timeline what tune I'm humming. All right? It's topical. All right? It's a topical song. Think about what's going on at the moment. And you could win these amazing prizes. The Duke of York's wallet. Empty. And a bag of Tudor crisps. From 1979, salt and vinegar flavor. Are you ready? Here we go. Just prepare myself. Yeah, I think I'm there. Right, here we go. So hum that tune. Oh, surely you've got it from that. That's a great rendition. Surely you must have got it from that. It's not Ace of Spades. No. Think of whistling. Think a bit of whistling. Yeah, think of a little bit of whistling there. These prizes, money cannot buy. You could have the Duke of Walks Yollet, and a bag of Tudor crisps from 1979. Shall I do it one more time? Here you go. got to be careful doing that. Yeah. Give myself a hernia. Yeah. Turn around, says Craig Beatty. Why? What's that? What? There's nothing. What are you talking about? It's a show, says Pete Gaskin. Eh? Marcus has got it. Birthday boy. You got it, sir. You got it. The prizes are yours. All the prizes are going to Marcus tonight on his birthday. Well done, Marcus. Yes, it was Scorpions' Wind of Change. It was such an obvious song, wasn't it? Wind, Wind of Change. That, yeah, my whistle's not on tonight. Hold on. let me tune it in. No, it's not working tonight. No, my whistle's gone. It's all gone. Stick your prizes up. Whoa! Hey, Mark, they're all yours. People are congratulating you, Mark Donegan, saying, well done, Mark. Enjoy your prizes. I think that's very kind of them. Right, so we spoke to Wayne Ede. That was a great interview. One of my proudest moments, to be honest. Another proud moment came this week as well. It's been 5 years, and many of you that used to watch listen to the radio will remember Len Day, where we invited a listener who was blind, and the radio was his only friend, and he got in touch with us. So we invited him onto our radio show, and we got him to co-host the show, and his name was Len. We surprised him with a phone call from his daughter, who lived in France. And I think he was 94 at the time, so I'm not sure if Len's still with us. But it was a beautiful, beautiful day, and one of my the bit of radio probably I'm most proud of. And it was 5 years to the day this week since we did that on the radio. So it was a lovely, lovely thing for us to remember. We also, on Facebook this week, I saw this story about New Zealand authorities. I don't know if you saw this. New Zealand authorities deploying Barry Manilow against protesters at Parliament. So they were deploying Barry Manilow music and playing it really loudly at protesters in Parliament, playing his greatest hits at hundreds camped out over coronavirus restrictions. They also played a bit of James Blunt. And they played a few others. So I thought what I'd do on this week's show is compile the album. Now that's what I call Scram. Songs that would drive you bananas and make you scram. If you were in that blockade outside Parliament, songs that you just go, no, I gotta go, I'm off, and scram. So now that's what I call Scram. I suggested, first up, Come On Eileen by Dexys Midnight Runners. Not because it's a bad song. It's just I've heard it and played it so many times in my life. And as soon as I hear the dum, 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 that's how it sounds in my head. Drives me insane. Craig says, I think your finest moment on the radio is the fish juggling episode from St. Ives with producer Ben. No, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, that was more of a funny episode. Yeah. I also quite like the episode on the radio when we were talking about Tyson Fury's comments, misogynistic comments against women. And we got a lady on from Cambridge University who really didn't understand irony. And I thought I'd introduce her and say, when she came on, I said, yeah, thank you for coming on the show. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for making time, because I know you've been making dinner in the kitchen. And of course, it's ironic. I was actually having a go at Tyson Fury, but and she was fine with it on air. And then afterwards, all the reprobates at Cambridge University started having a go, and we made it to the Daily Mail. So very, very, yeah, that was Kitchengate, Marcus. Yeah, very funny. And even Jeremy Clarkson weighed in and defended me. Not that he knows who I am and gives a toss. Anything by the Cheeky Girls, says Roger, would get me running. You can have the Cheeky Girls. I'm a cheeky girl. I'm a cheeky girl. Yeah, stick that on now. That's what I call Scram. I agree with you, says Peter, with Dexys Midnight Runners. Awful. You're getting 2 hum that tunes tonight for the price of 1. Thank you, lucky stars. What else are we sticking on the album? Now that's what I call Scram. What would get you running? Hey, Macarena, says Jeff. I hate the Macarena. Every wedding I go to, the Macarena is stuck on by the old mobile DJ. Paul Hope don't play that rubbish. Dear Paul, you do. You're better than that, Paul. Paul, you're better. You're better. Sparkorama's better than that. You don't need to lower yourself to the Macarena. He says, I mean, some of the crap I played in my time. Hey, Agatha. Just for a laugh. Kate Bush and Dithering Heights. She sounds like a cackling goose, says Chris Hatton. Awful. Awful. The only Kate Bush song I like is Hounds of Love. It's in the swing. I think it's because it's the drums. And I think it's the same with the Showman, you know, the film, The Showman. All the drumming in that gets me going. No, stop it. That's disgusting. All right. Crowd control music, says Craig. Make them hungry. Play fast food rockers on a permanent loop. I'll have to have a listen to them. I've never heard of them, but I will have a listen. Get back to the kitchen, says Mark Donegan. That was brilliant. Yeah. I just didn't get it. I didn't get how they didn't have irony. And they couldn't see that I was having a go at Tyson Fury with irony, which is why I never got done for it. Although these days, you never know. John Whitby. Music for now, that's what I call scram. Simply the best. Bloody hate it. Must have played 1,000 times at company awards, and every company seemed to think they were being original by playing It's Simply the Best. We've had quite a bit of Tina Turner on the show today, haven't we? Quite a bit of Tina Turner on the show today. What else we got? Simon says, Simon Kaminsky says, my song for this album would be Do I Love You, which is a Northern Soul track, played to death and only played due to someone paying a fortune for a copy. I've never heard of it. I'm sure it's a good song, though. Just put the radio on. That'll disperse everyone, says Marcus. I'm not going to get into slagging off radio station. I'm above it, right? I'm above it. Although Radio 2 is bloody awful. Did I say that? Did that come out? Stephen Briggs, journalist, Peterborough Telegraph, got involved. This is back in the day, Paul. Our uni flat had, some would say, weird obsession with Bop by Hanson. Great song. We found out that in the USA, there was a school that did a charity campaign, Paul. They played the said song all day until a certain amount had been raised. It was called Stop the Bop. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not going to put, I'm not going to put bop. Bop. I'm not going to put that on there because I love bop. I really do. I quite like Hanson as well. Quite like it. Most enjoyable evening, Paul. I look forward to next week, says Barbara. I haven't finished yet. What are you doing? You can't go yet. I'm not done. I must have more impressions to do. There must be more I can do. Dan's been on. He says, anything by Yoko Ono. First choice every time. Stick it on the album. Awful. Oh. And Chrissy says, hubby despises Come On Eileen. Can drive him from the room. Well, you know what to do. Just stick it on. Steve Greenall from Black Cat Radio's Full English Breakfast. I don't know if you've heard Black Cat Radio around St. Neots. Very good. Steve's a good lad. I'll Always Love You by Whitney Houston, Paul. Stick that on there. I ditched it from an early Black Cat Radio breakfast show, leading to the thought that I didn't like Whitney per se, which is wrong, but I've rolled with it, Paul, and never played it in 5 years. And we'll always love you. I quite like it. Wash my hair tonight. It's gone a little bit fuzzy. Crazy. Fast Food Rockers is a McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza song. Oh, okay. Best Star of the Week by far every week. Sorry to blow smoke, says Marcus. Oh, well, that's all right. We do put a lot into it, and I've now added production because you've seen what I've done. That would have been a good point to say goodbye. But I've got more stuff to get through. More songs for the album. And now that's what I call scram. Chris says, this is going to make me feel really old. Chris says, I was listening to Hanson's Bop when you was on Hereward Radio, Paul. I feel old. I feel very old. Now it is a good time to go. Bye!